Hey everyone, welcome back to Warhammer 40k. Things have been getting heated up. There's Space Marines, there's all these other fun things out there, there's Orcs. I was talking about why I like Chaos so much. They're just cool as a short answer to it. And there's not really much more for me to say about that. They're neat. Books, if you're interested in reading books about Chaos, the Night Lords trilogy is a very, very good place to start. But there's also, I think, the Black Talon series. Oh no, the Black Legion series. Very good as well if you want to read more about Chaos. I highly recommend that. And those are really interesting because I think they give you a very good insight about the minds of the Chaos Space Marines. Because reading anything from like a loyalist perspective, they're painted as just like universally, oh, like they're traitors, like they're heretics. And while I'm not saying they're necessarily good guys, we should be using the rules. I do think they're very interesting individuals, and like within those books, they do a very good job of like making them interesting individuals. Like every Chaos Space Marine has a reason for being a Chaos Space Marine, whether it be that they're just they got possessed, they want to gain favor of the Chaos Gods. Or simply because like they're disillusioned with the Imperium of Man, and they broke off from it. Like, as loyal as these Space Marines are to the Imperium is not a perfect place by any stretch of the imagination, and there's a lot wrong with it. So, enough so to the point that someone might be inclined to become a traitor because, let's face it, in a lot of ways, the Imperium sucks. Like, it's not a place you want to live because it's endless fighting. And there's a lot of reason to be dissatisfied with the Imperium. Is there nothing here? That is too bad. Whoops, sorry, Mira. All these dead Guardsmen. But each Chaos Space Marine is different, and they all have their different reasons. And what makes Chaos such a dangerous foe is like not only are they augmented by, say, demons or like the Chaos Gods, but some of these guys have been traitors for like 10,000 years or more, depending on the nature of the war. So, like in some cases, like they've been driven mad by possession, and they're not as dangerous because they don't have, say, the tactile sense that some other Space Marines do. But there do exist some Chaos Space Marines who have had like 10,000 years of combat experience, and I don't care who you are, if you're going up against... If you go against someone who has 10,000 years of like, combat experience, like, you're going to be in for a rough time. Because that's a lot of combat experience. And that's not the case for every Chaos Space Marine. But, you know, you wouldn't be surprised if that was necessarily the case. I want to wait for my Iron Hail to regenerate. Thank you. Oh, it's you taking shots at us. It's also interesting too about Chaos is that because they exist in the warp, they have a hard time finding arms and armor for themselves. Because really, if you think about it, in the warp, there's no real like resource nodes or like say factories or anything of the sort in which the Chaos can rearm themselves. So one thing about Chaos is that might seem surprising to some is that there's actually a lot of infighting within Chaos for one reason or another. Like, if a Space Marine worships one god, or a Chaos Space Marine worships one god, that doesn't necessarily mean he's on friendly terms with... He's on terms with other Chaos Space Marines who worship different gods. Indeed, that could actually be a point of contention. Is that... Did that guy just phase in and out? Yeah, he did. Oh, he's dead. All right. Is that a guardsman? It is a guardsman. Neat. Sorry, I got so distracted by that guardsman that I lost myself. And another reason why, so this the religious beliefs which may be part of the reason why Chaos Space Marines fight. It also can be as simple as just like feuds, right? Like one Space Marine might not like another, so he might be interested to kill the other one. A Chaos Space Marine, that is. But the other thing too is that because resources are so rare, they might be inclined to kill one another for resources or ammunition because it's so rare within the war. The point I'm basically trying to make is that Chaos are, in a lot of ways, they're actually just glorified scavengers. Which was actually a little bit surprising to read, but it really makes a lot of sense the more you think about it, because they don't have an easy access to resources or other things. So, the life of a Chaos Space Marine is actually quite difficult. But I mean, I guess that's true for anything that lives within the Imperium of Man. Or, not the Imperium, but like just in the Warhammer 40k universe. And that's not to say that like Chaos are always like scraping the bottom of the barrel when it comes to like ammunition and arms and stuff. I just mean that they have a hard time arming themselves than, say, the soldiers of the Imperium. But of course, like they can absolutely wage wars, like do full-scale battles, and they have like all these other things that help give them advantages, right? Like yes, they might not be as well equipped, but you know they're augmented by the gods. They have like their sorceries, combat experience,
I half expected to find a demon chewing on your
so on and so forth.
Well, they'd spit me right out.
Make your report, Jonah.
The Greenskins have been pressing us hard, both down here and at the Bastion proper.
Get ready to fall back to the Bastion. Do not engage Chaos forces directly until I get reinforcements down here to back you up.
Aye, Lieutenant.
All right. And that's really what makes the Warhammer 40k universe interesting. Like, I've been talking about Chaos and I think the Warp for a few episodes now, but like I'm still only scraping
Captain Titus, this way.
the bottom of the barrel. Oh, I'm already headed the right way. So I'm not scraping the bottom of the barrel. Sorry, I'm barely hitting the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more, and like if you guys are interested about that kind of stuff, I highly recommend like either you read some of the books or like look it up because it's a very, very interesting universe. Like this game, even though it features Chaos, there's so much more to Chaos than like what you will see in this game, right? Because like it's a game and they can only go so far, but hopefully if like you look at those guys like say, oh, like they look kind of cool or if they're interesting, I do encourage you to go look further because really I find it to be rewarding.
This is Bastion Primus. We're under heavy assault. The Orcs are back, and they cut power to the sentry guns.
All of them?
They took out the generator. We couldn't defend it against such numbers. We had to fall back.
The Ultramarines and I are almost at your position. Mirror out.
With my psychic abilities, I had drawn energy from the warp. If I could summon it again, contain it, control it, then perhaps I could use it to defend the Imperium. So, I made another interstellar journey through the warp. Barely daring to hope, I lowered my psychic defenses and willed the energy to return. And it did. I captured the spark in a containment device and marveled at its potential. My work could now begin.
See, that's dangerous, man. Like, the warp is not something to be trifled with because I can guarantee you the moment that he did that, that's when he got possessed. Like, right there and then. It's like, oh, I'm going to lower my defenses to the warp. That's, like, an easy way to get screwed over hard. Like, that's like you saying, I am going to stick this fork into an electrical outlet. What's the worst thing that can happen? It's like, you're gonna get electrocuted. You're going to die. Like, that's what happened there. Like, don't do it. The warp's a dangerous place. The warp is so dangerous that, like, you can have, like, an entire fleet of Space Marines that go through the warp, and all of them die because the place is so gosh darn dangerous. So, like, yes, like, oh, it's potential. It's like, you're playing a fool's gambit, man. Like, you can't do that kind of stuff. You're gonna get yourself into trouble.
Genetic scan complete. Adeptus Astartes.
Plasma gun. The MK-12 Ragefire plasma gun fires charged energy pulse able to damage heavily targeted armors. The weapon is deadly but prone to overheating. Alright, well we can't actually use it because we have the Thunder Hammer. But that's okay, we don't need it. We don't need it. Absolutely. And actually with that said, we're going to end the episode here. So thank you all for watching. Oops. Alt-tabbing is hard work, guys. And I'll see you guys later. So till then,